Hello, I'm Rebecca Bowering. Welcome to Tech 24. Coming up in the programme, hitting the tech jackpot in Vegas. Despite the global downturn, the Consumer Electronics Show is proving more popular than ever. We'll reveal which new products are set for greatness this year and ask whether CES can keep on attracting those high rollers. A show floor stretching for 35 football fields, over 3,100 exhibitors and more than 20,000 products. This year's Consumer Electronics Show is the biggest in 44 years. The Las Vegas-based tech fair is the shop window for an industry soon to be worth $200 billion. It also sets the gadget tone for the rest of the year.
CES in its purest form is all about the hardware, and the big trend for 2012, well, it's Ultrabooks. They're these super light, razor-thin laptops like this one you see here. This is a reference design from Compal, and Ron is with me. He's going to take us through a little bit why this is so special. Ron, it's really versatile, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. What it is you get the opportunity of having an Ultrabook with a standard keyboard, but the interesting thing is look at this. It becomes a tablet. How cool is that?
You don't need to buy two devices.
That's right. You get both an Ultrabook computer and you get a tablet at the same time.
It also does something else really cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. What we have the opportunity with this system is to be able to wirelessly charge your smartphone. So all you do is take your smartphone, set it down next to your PC, and you can wirelessly charge it.
Elsewhere, the choice of TV sets is dizzying. Whether voice or face recognition, HD or touchscreen, television makers hunt for the next killer feature.
3D TV is going to be huge. The industry is not backing away from it, even though it's expensive and there's very little broadcast content. The industry is convinced that this is going to work.
Thin, power-efficient, ultra-sharp OLED screens are set to replace plasma. Television's also getting more social. Google's relaunching Smart TV, partnered by big brands.
This works as an aggregator of content, so all on the same screen, as well as watching movies and TV. You can also access the internet. You can go to YouTube. You can write on Facebook about what you've been watching. It's all integrated. It's controlled using one of these magic remotes, which has a keyboard on this side and also contains a motion sensor, or you can use your smartphone by downloading an app.
Despite the popularity of streaming content on tablets, TV makers are sure that we'll keep tuning in.
As long as we have walls, we're going to have these things.
Well, I'm back from Las Vegas in one piece, and Eric Olander, our internet editor-in-chief, joins me in the studio now. So we saw some interesting stuff, some big possible trends for 2012. CES a bit short on big announcements this year, it has to be said, but manufacturers hoping that it will at least be the year of the Ultrabook. Do you think that's a respectable challenge, of course, to Apple's MacBook Air and, of course, its iPad too?
Well, we've been hearing about ultra-portable notebooks for a very, very long time. This could have been really, CES 2009 or even 2010. We heard back then ultra-thin notebooks. We heard also 3D TVs, and we've heard a lot of these same trends, coming up over and over again. That's what was a little bit of a disappointment from this year's CES, is there wasn't one breakout product, which is what we look for, which may say something about CES, which we'll talk about later on in the show. But for this point, the ultra-thin OLED TVs, I think that's what really caught everybody's attention, these really tiny TVs that are beautiful in color. But at the end of the day, that's an evolution, that's not a revolution, and people want to see revolutions.
What about this theme of connectivity? Is 2012 going to be the year of the interface, where we see computer power moving into other gadgets like smart TV, even like cars? Yes,
you are going to see that, but it may not come from anybody at CES. Of course, everybody's waiting for this year to see the Siri-powered Apple TV. That is the big rumor. And of course, Apple wasn't at CES, they never are now. So
yet they are still there.
The ghost
spirit,
of Apple
yes.
and Steve Jobs hangs over this event like you can't believe, whether it's on phones or the MacBook Air and the ultra-portable computers.
And all the accessories we saw as well.
And all the accessories, because the Apple presence is really everywhere, because they ultimately, right now, set the tone for the market.
Yeah, they're setting the agenda. Thanks, Eric. Stay with us. Well, you saw there's some of the products that you might have spotted at CES, but what about the people? Just who goes along? Well, this year, just under 20 companies representing France headed to Las Vegas, many of them startups. And I went to meet one French CEO who's on a winning streak. Welcome to the Venetian Casino. I'm here with Eric Carrel, who is an extraordinary entrepreneur in French terms. Several projects on the go. One of them, of course, we know, Sculpture, which is a 3D design website. But we're here to talk about Invoxia, a piece of kit that's won you a prize this year for innovation. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell us how it works.
So this is a desk phone that you can put in your office, but it's totally new for two reasons. One is audio quality that you can get with this product, thanks to its 8 loudspeaker and 8 microphone, which can create a spatial sound around the product. And the sound is totally fantastic.
And it's that's won it the prize, high quality sound?
It's for two reasons, for the quality sound and for the user interface. With this, it's very simple, thanks to the applications that you have on your iPhone, which will help you to manage all these complex functions on a very easy way.
So you download the application to go with it. And I have to say, it is beautifully made, and I think a little bit inspired by some of Apple's technology. Tell me, just broadening out a little bit, what's the interest for you being here in Las Vegas on the other side of the world for CES?
For us, it is very important because now every time we launch a new product, we have to launch it internationally. And there is no better place than the Consumer Electronics Show to be to launch a new product, because there is a lot of people, a lot of press, and so each time we launch, we say something, it is launched all over the world.
Eric Carrel of Invox here there. Now, he was saying, Eric, there's no better place to launch a product than CES, but others saying that the very future of the conference might be under threat from all these other smaller niche tech fairs which are building up.
Well, part of the problem is really just getting your word out. When during CES, we really only hear about the big guys. I mean, this is really an exceptional thing that you sought out a small French company and gave them so much TV exposure, because that really doesn't happen. It's the Samsungs, the Microsofts, the Ericssons that get most of the attention at CES. So for these small companies, actually breaking out in the media is very, very difficult because the noise is just so much. Now, on the other hand, because there are so many of these small companies, that might provide the insurance to CES that if the big boys ultimately decide to follow Microsoft and Apple's decision to leave, then this will be a conference of small marketers. And at the same time, that's very valuable because a lot of the trends aren't set by the big players, they're set by the small ones.
Tell us why, though, Microsoft has decided to back out and who might take over its prime spot.
Well, it's hard to tell who might take over. Samsung, of course, is the likely one right now, given their presence in consumer products. But Microsoft felt that it's no longer, product cycle is no longer on the same schedule as CES. Companies want to get away from these big events so they can time product releases to their market needs, not those of the conventions.
So they can call the shots themselves. Thanks very much for all of that, Eric Olander. Thank you for watching this edition of Tech24. We're just about at the end. A reminder to check us out on the social network. The URL is appearing on your screen right about now. So to end today's show, well, it's got to be said, I followed in the illustrious footsteps of this man, and let it never be said that Tech24 presenters are afraid of making fools of themselves. Bye-bye. So last year at the E3 conference, Eric Olander danced. I thought I couldn't be beaten by that, so I'm here at the Microsoft Connect stand with my friend Derek, and we're going to try and break it down.